are not going to believe this, but we're having some technical difficulties right now. Sorry about that. Just give me a second. We are live on YouTube right now, so hello everyone that's might be joining us on YouTube, but the Facebook is being weird right now, so just give me all a second as I try to get this set up again. Okay. Okay. It says we're live on Facebook now. Okay. It says we are live on Facebook, so I'll trust that we're live on Facebook. So apologies to anyone that was joining us right now. Give them a little bit of time to join us, but welcome everyone that will be joining us, or if you're watching this replay on our Facebook or our YouTube page. If you're joining us for the first time, my name is Angel. I have the pleasure of being a part of the Awards and Personalization Association team here, and we are just a few months away from this year's International Personalization Expo. Super excited. Happy New Year as well. Liz, Darin, and Braden and I were just talking about weather and New Year's and travel and all the things that we're so excited about, but more excited about the upcoming APA Expo. As you're joining our chat, our live stream today, let us know in the comments. We'll have some fun. If you have a New Year's resolution for your business this year, share that in the comments. We'll see if we get anything. What's kind of buzzing around for folks this time of year. I know coming out of December, it's a very busy season coming out of the holidays, fulfilling orders, just all the things. So hopefully there's a little bit of calming with the dust. But that's enough of my intro spiel. International Personalization Expo. Super excited for that, coming up February 24th to 27th at the Horseshoe Las Vegas. This event is must attend. I always like to say for all personalization businesses, both on the retailer and supplier vendor side. Whether you're just getting started or scaling up in 2026, this is definitely the event that you don't want to miss to get the access to the latest equipment, trends, and education, which we'll talk about today, to take your business to new heights this year and beyond. One thing that I briefly want to mention before I pass it on over to today's guests is this Friday, January 9th, is the deadline to enter our free hotel stay raffle. So any and all retailers, whether or not you are a member of the APA, that registers by this Friday will enter a raffle to get a free 3-night stay at the Horseshoe Las Vegas to be used during the APA Expo. We'll announce that winner next week. So definitely, if you're thinking about it, would highly encourage you to register earlier, get your hotel booked, book your flight tickets, all the things. But that's my spiel. So today's live stream will be talking a little bit about our hands-on courses. You've seen in previous courses, previous live streams, we've talked about our equipment, our business and marketing courses. Well, today we're going to talk about our hands-on courses, which I know are really popular because a lot of our attendees like to get that hands-on experience with the equipment that they're seeing on the show floor. I'd like to pass it on over to our guest today, starting first with Liz Haas. Liz, if you could please share your name, your company, a little bit about your experience in the industry, and then how did you get involved with the APA?
Sure. So I'm Liz Haas with Rayzist Photomask, and I got involved with APA. It was just attending the shows, being a sales and customer service person representing Rayzist, but then being involved with teaching for the company and being asked like, hey, you should teach some of these courses here at APA. I think people would benefit from them. So that's where I started putting in, kind of the proposals and then going from there. So that's how I got started with the teaching side. But as far as like Rayzist involved, we love this show. I feel like this is truly an awards and personalization expo. It hasn't veered. This expo hasn't veered to other avenues. It's truly stayed in awards and personalization environment. And I think that benefits all of us who, do awards, sand carving, engraving, all of those applications.
Awesome. I'll also give a little side note. Liz won Speaker of the Year last year, so definitely something want to give her a shout out for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, passing on to Darin. Before the year before, another Speaker of the Year. Share a little bit about yourself, company, and experience in the industry and with APA, please.
Yeah, thanks, Angel. Darin Jones. I work with IKONICS Imaging. Been here 21 years. I've been teaching courses for 21 years as well, like Liz has with Rayzist. I was fortunate to get in the industry with Norm Dobbins. He was a glass artist, world renowned. Learned a lot of info from him over the years working with him. And I got approached at APA because I've been going to that show for 21 years as well. And they just asked me to share my knowledge, and that's where it all started. So it's been a pleasure. IKONICS Imaging was doing our individual classes for several years, doing 1 or 2 a year, doing several webinars as well. But we just decided that the new adventure, since we have a good relationship with other vendors in the industry that exhibit at this show, we just figured we'd couple and partner up with Trotec Laser to teach a blazering class, which is a coined term. I know Braden Todd and I have brainstormed some ideas, but it's a coined term that we use for blazer, which is laser and sandblast, so blazering. So that's the event and workshop we'll be teaching this year as well. It's an amazing course and a lot of knowledge, a lot of tips and tricks, and yeah, I just love going to the show every year. I always look at like a family reunion. I see customers that I've seen for years. I see new ones that I've talked to on the phone and through text messaging. So it's really nice to see everybody at one event instead of having to visit 50, 60 people. I know Braden and Liz maybe does this a lot. You travel quite a bit, beside the show. So it's nice to see everybody in one spot. And like Liz said, this is the best show of the year. It's the kickoff. A lot of other shows don't start until March and so on. So yeah, it's a great venue, great people, great vendors. But like I said, we need the customers to be there to make it even better. The vendors will be there. You just need the customers to join us, and we'll have a blast.
I see what you did there. Nice.
He's got
Braden,
it trademarked, I think.
Yeah, I'm glad. Braden, could you share a little bit about yourself and how did you get involved in the industry and the APA?
Yeah, definitely. So Braden Todd, company is GS2 Awards, and a little unique on how we're involved and how we became involved, because I started out as the attendee that didn't have the time or money to go to the show. So I always skipped the show and then complained about never going to a show. And then finally was able to start attending the show and actually seeing what I was missing, the education, the classes, and learning about the new products and machines on the show floor to help my business. So I had my own engraving shop for about 17 years before going wholesale, and quickly realized how beneficial the show was to attend there. But then once we started shutting down our engraving shop and actually going wholesale with GS2 Awards, that's where we became vendors on the show. So now we exhibit and display at the show too, but then also teach classes, sessions. We have 2 or 3 different sessions that we're doing, and then live demos and classes in their booth at the same time. But then I don't like to do anything superficial, so I keep going deeper. And now also on the board of directors for the APA as well too. So it's inside and out. It's a great organization and something I feel like everybody should attend and be part of. My roots in all of the industry actually started with my grandfather. So as a small child in elementary school, I would go to his house and always run down to his blast room and start making beer mugs in like first grade. So, and then attending his trade shows and booths and seeing how he did everything. As Darin mentioned, Norm, he also worked with Norm way back in the day and Rayzist, some of the original days with Rayzist as well too. And he would always tell me how he'd have to take his designs and mail them to Rayzist. They would expose them and then send them back because there was no in-house washout system. So it's crazy to see the industry grow so much.
Yeah.
But I'm addicted to it and I love it and can't wait for more.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, Braden. I love hearing just people's stories, how they got into the industry, if it's what it's just starting on the last few years, or how you just described just, you know, a long family business with a lot of history. So thank you so much for sharing that, each of you. The thing that I've been that you've mentioned, Darin, it being a family reunion, and I think all three of you kind of alluded to this, just the knowledge sharing that happens amongst all these folks that come together is something that I really enjoy seeing, whether it's things that are new or feel like they're new in 2026, or things that are evergreen that all businesses should really have a good handle on. I feel like this is definitely the show to kind of, you know, brush up on those skills, or if you're looking to kind of level up those skills, definitely the place to go to. But wanting to ask this question to each of you, because I think it's been interesting to see what each of our speakers kind of their perspectives on the industry from where they are. Starting with you, Braden, if you can share a little bit about what is maybe one trend that you're seeing in your part of the industry in 2026, and or what are some of like the common questions or challenges that seem to come up year after year from folks that are maybe newer to the industry?
We could take this pretty deep.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've seen a lot lately is combining technologies. So, and I feel like we have a unique perspective because we're on the material side, the equipment side, the classes side, lessons learning. So we see a lot of it from different angles, but a lot of folks are now combining technology, whether it's laser engraving and a Mamaki printer and making hat patches and doing print to cut pieces, or lasers and sandblasting, or combining mixed materials. So definitely seeing a lot more of that combination. And then also the awards market, I think is finally, it sounds weird to say 5-6 years after COVID, is starting to make a rebound. So more people are going back to awards and handing out awards. So we're seeing growth in that sector too. One of the challenges that I think everyone is going to feel the pain on is our costs and growth. Everything has gone through the roof, it feels. So now it seems we all want to grow, but how can we grow with the extra costs that are on us, and how can we do it, I guess, creatively and smartly, but efficiently. So how can we combine our procedures? How can we eliminate time, eliminate steps, and then become a little bit more efficient in production, essentially cutting costs there. And then with that, I've seen a lot more desire for advanced education versus the superficial, here's a laser cuts, a sandblaster etches kind of a class. And I think even Liz and Rayzist are going to have a great paint filling class, and we're going to have a blazering class with Trotec and IKONICS, and going deeper into these techniques and processes. And I think people are yearning for that now too. So it's another exciting part.
Definitely. Darin, anything to kind of add on to that? I know with emerging technologies, that's up your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I think Braden hit it right on the top of the coin here. Yeah, technology has really merged over the years. You know, I run the shows. We do events with UV printing, laser engraving, sandblasting, and so on. They all kind of work together in some way. And I think all those vendors really agree on, we're really here to help grow our customer. So whether it's recommending this process or this process, I'm all about growth. You know, I'm going to give honest opinions, and if they're growing their company, they're going to work with some of our product as well down the road. So growth is one. The other part is, you know, technology has evolved over the years. You know, a lot of digital marketing, right? Digital printing, which is great. but it's been becoming more saturated. We've found that a lot of customers are doing stuff in their homes with little hobbyist equipment. And like Braden said, as vendors, we're here to show new items that you don't see on YouTube. You don't see on other channels. You have to see it, in a workshop or in person where we can show you firsthand how it all worked from start to finish. So, just to see, some of this not so saturated. Because if everybody can do it, if it's easy, right? I guess that's what I tell my kids every day too. But yeah, if it's easy, everybody can do it. So we're here to really show items that are gonna be a good introduction to the market to make money and be different from their competitor, and but have fun with it too, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have fun.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not enjoying your job, then it's our job to make it fun, so and profitable.
Absolutely.
I think that's what it is.
Absolutely. Liz, how about you? Any trends that you're seeing in 2026 that you're excited for? Or as
Sure.
I shared, I asked Braden, any common questions or challenges that you see just start coming up year
Sure.
after year?
Well, I agree with both Braden and Darin on growth and kind of merging technologies into your shop. I mean, we're all here for growth, absolutely, to have our customers grow their businesses. But one thing that I'm kind of seeing, I've been hearing a little bit more from our customers is they want to separate, here's my sandblasted, my sandcar piece. How do I make it different to add more value, to separate myself from all these other etched products? And so they're looking at maybe adding a little bit of elements of taking one design and maybe adding a little shading and a little bit of a deeper etch, kind of a little bit of adding some value, some different depths to one design. Very simple, elegant, and just trying to separate, from some of the etching. So like a little deeper on one end, a little lighter, to kind of give it some dimension, and separating, setting their piece apart, their design apart. The challenges is, how do I set up my artwork to do that? So kind of explaining how you would set your artwork, set it up to do something like that, to add different depths to a piece. Another challenge I think that people are finding with all this new technology that's coming in and kind of incorporating different methods of engraving, it's sand carving is still a process. It's a craftsman. It is a hand process. And trying to explain that to people, it's like, okay, well, wait, I have to make a mask and put it on. Well, yes, you can do a laser mask. You can do, a photoresist. But okay, but I have to do that, so yes. So in today's world, people want things so quick, so fast, a quick turnaround. You got, Amazon, it's going to ship today. I'm going to have it tomorrow. And with sand carving, I mean, yes, you can do it quickly, but it's still a process. And trying to understand, getting people to understand it isn't so cookie cutter. You do have a little bit of a process to that. And I think that is a challenge for people. If they're doing everything very quickly, when it comes to sand carving, you do have a couple steps. So
Absolutely.
kind of getting people to understand that and try to make that process a little bit easier for people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Learning how things work before you can, I think of breaking, but before you can break the rules, you got to learn the rules, or, you got to learn how things work before you can really, find those efficiencies. That's kind of what I'm hearing.
Yes.
I love how it keeps the craftsmanship in it though, too. It's not a plug and play. It's actually, you are touching it, you are holding it, you are controlling it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's the value.
Mm-hmm.
You are the creator. You are the jig, right? Like a laser engraving jig.
Yeah. You're the machine.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like that's a pretty good transition into talking about our actual hands-on courses. So, Liz, if you don't mind, we can stay with you, talk about your course, which is happening on Thursday, February 26th, right? Bright and early in the morning at 7:30 a.m. How to color fill etched how to color fill etched products. Could you tell us a little bit about what we'll be doing in this class?
Sure. It's one of my favorite subjects is painting. And so what we're doing in this class, it is a hands-on class. So everyone will have a wine bottle. Everyone will have a rock. We are actually all hands-on. So you're going to sand carve, and then we're going to be applying color. So we're going to be using multiple colors, a little bit of hand painting. So it's not doing like a full design, with like, 20 different colors. We're going to limit you, and I try to limit you to probably about 3 or 4 colors. But it is truly a hands-on experience with applying the paint. How do you apply it? What are some of, the spray paints to use? What are some of the hand paints, the brushes? How do you clean your brushes? How long does it take to dry? And the same thing with stone, applying paint to stone. Does it seem easy? For me, it seems very easy, but we get those calls where people are like, hey, it's not working, I'm having issues. So a hands-on class for applying a paint application is perfect for you. If you want to add paint, you want to do paint blending, multiple colors, this is truly just a hands-on course, and it's all about paint. We tell you where to get your paint, what we recommend, drying times, all of that stuff. And you will get in the cabinet a little bit, so you have a little bit of that experience in the cabinet, but it's truly just a hands-on painting class.
Awesome. And you get to go home with said bottle and
do.
rock as well. Yeah, awesome.
You do. And then I do like a sparkling cider for those that don't want wine. We'll do like a sparkling cider for them. So we have that option. And that's something new. But yeah, so you'll learn how to actually engrave or sand carve into the glass, and then with your stencils and then the paints, and then just creating a great design with color.
Awesome. Yeah, I've heard definitely in past years great reviews about this course, so definitely encourage everyone to check it out. Appreciate you, Liz.
Thank you.
Yeah, Darin, passing it on over to you. I know Darin, Braden, you two are co-teaching a course this year, but Darin, if you could speak a little bit about this course on Wednesday, February 25th, Blazering Merging Technologies. What are we going to be doing in this course?
Yeah, thanks, Angel. I think Braden can speak to this as well, but yeah, him and I will be tag teaming on Blazering once again this year. We did our first annual last year. It was a really good success. I think the big benefits is we're combining technologies of laser engraving and sand carving. So like Liz mentioned, sand carving is a big need in our industry because it gives you that deep edge. You can easily add color to a deep edge for a long-lasting image. There's so many advantages to sand carving. But as to what Liz mentioned earlier too, customers want faster product or maybe less labor in their process. So that's where we work with laser equipment, in this case Trotec laser, and we use a variety of different films. I know a lot of people think blazering is from our film called Blazer Orange, but it's actually coining blazer, which is blasting and lasering. Well, it's the opposite, laser than sandblast, but it's that coined term. Anyway, so what we do in the course is we apply the laser mask to a product. We'll have stone, and we'll have ceramic mugs, we'll have glass, and some other goodies. And each person will see the product be laser engraved right in the Trotec laser booth at the show. So they can see firsthand all the settings for the laser engraver, all the tips and tricks. And we'll have a variety of different artwork to throw on there as well, more personalized because it's a personalization show. And then we're going to put the product in the laser engrave it, then bring the product to our sandblast equipment, which will have 3 sandblast machines in our booth. So plenty of space to each person will be able to do their own rock, their own mug, their own glass, and we'll give you a little handy bag and all that to take back with you or ship it to your shop. But it's as to what Liz mentioned too, it's a hands-on course. It's not just me and Braden out there talking and, I mean, you hear enough of us on the phone, I'm sure. So it's a good time to, just work your hands in there, apply your own mask, grab the piece from the laser, put in the blaster and do it by hand. And, I always tell people it's a very welcoming experience, and it's it makes you feel good, but also it's like, wow, I did that. And then once you tell them how much money they can make on it, then they even get happier. But it's a really good way to learn the process from start to finish. Like I said earlier, on YouTube, you don't see all the full process, and some other courses you don't see the full process. At this event, you'll see everything start to finish, from the artwork to making the stencil to sandblasting to removing. We're not doing any paint filling, so that's for the next day with Rayzist, but we'll be doing everything before that. So
Yeah, it's a great intro to the blazering side, and then even it's the intro and builds onto what we have at Beyond the Beam for the blazering class with IKONICS as well, which is a 2-day class going over the laser use and sandblast, and how to basically touch on what I was saying about increasing your efficiencies, producing faster, producing smarter, cutting your costs. And we distribute 4 Trotec lasers, so we love the machines, the speed that they offer, and then go over all of the techniques, tips, and tricks on how to use that laser technology to then prep everything going into the sandblasters too, and then just kind of merge those technologies. But it's definitely a fun hands-on class, and I think everyone should do it. It's an early class, but it's well worth it. And then come out to Boulder, Colorado. We can do 2 days of it too.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and I think the thing that I like about the timing with this class, the blazering nerd technologies, it's right when you finish the course, the show floor opens on that Wednesday. So even continue the conversations from there with the vendors, and keep exploring the tech. Braden, if we can stick with you, if that's all right. There's a third course, a hands-on course, that's being led by Daryl Stevens, also from Trotec Laser. He didn't have a chance to join us today, but definitely wanted to give his course a shout out. It's called Laser Cut Appliques, Hands-on Design and Fabrication. Braden, could you speak a little bit to this course?
Oh yeah, definitely. I wish Daryl could have been here, but he's a very busy guy, and this course is going to be amazing too, because the laser engraver is such a versatile tool. It's just a matter of knowing how to apply it to different technologies and uses. So in this course, you get to use the laser to actually cut fabrics, patches, and learn how you can apply it to textiles. And I don't want to give too much away for Daryl, but I do believe you actually get to make and take an item as well too. So you're going to learn how the laser reacts with the fabrics, and why a laser is a great option for fabric, and that it actually, I'll give away a little bit, as it cuts, it actually heat seals the edges. So it stops the fraying and stops tearing of fabrics. So then whenever you apply it to a secondary surface, you're not going to have that fraying, tearing, and ripping. And we've actually made parachutes in our shop because the laser is the best way for cutting that fabric. So definitely another great hands-on session where you're going to learn about the lasers, get time on them, and then get to make and take your own piece as well too.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Braden. Yeah, I wish I could take all these courses. I guess you could only do one each day because it's Wednesday and then Thursday. So, but definitely encourage these because they are limited in seats. And we definitely want these courses to be filled. So if you've already registered but haven't put on a hands-on course, you could always go back. It should be simple to add one of these courses to your registration, and then you should be all set. But definitely would encourage you all to check these courses out. But I know those are our hands-on courses, but one fun question I'd like to ask each of you as well, just zooming out, looking at the full schedule of events, of education sessions at the Expo, starting with Liz. Is there, as you've peeked at this year's schedule, is there a session or sessions or speaker that you're particularly excited for, that you want to say attendees should really check out the session, apart from your own, because that's why we're here. But
right. So if you're not signed up, for my class or Braden or Darin's class, there are some really good classes out there. And this was a hard question because I'm looking at all the classes and I'm like, gosh, there are some really good classes out and great knowledgeable people that are teaching these classes. And you can't, I mean, you really need to invest in education when you come to this show. So I like Justin Varn is teaching a class and getting started with AI, transforming the world's and personalization industry. And AI is such a huge thing right now. So we really need to kind of tap into that and how can it benefit our businesses. And that's what I'm getting from their description. I think that's great. And then you can't go wrong with any of the Corel Draw training courses or artwork because everything stems from artwork. And you have a lot of people that are teaching Corel classes. So I think those are something that I would look at and you can benefit your business. And we're always learning, right? We're always learning. That's why, Corel and Illustrator always have updates because everything's transforming, everything's upgrading, and we need to be on top of that because everything stems from artwork and then now AI. So kind of merging everything together here to kind of do the best artwork and make the best products. I think those are some great classes.
Absolutely. I agree. Darin, any courses, speakers that you want to give a shout out to that you're like, yes, people should attend this one if not my own? It's on mute. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, there.
There you
Yeah, thank you. I think, Liz had some good points as well. I'll be honest, when I typically look at it as the instructor, I look at years of experience. I know Mr. Green is there again this year. As you know, there's several Speaker of the Years on the website you can look at. But I think knowledge is power. I think once you find somebody that you trust and somebody that has been doing this a while, I think that's a good way to start with them. And then you get the new ones that come in the industry too that bring new knowledge. It's new technology. So as far as specific classes, I don't have any because I want to put me in that spot of forgetting somebody. But the different technologies, UV printing, that's a really big growing industry. Laser engraving, I think everybody has a laser or needs one. Sand carving, obviously that's a need in our industry as well, to be different, to be profitable, to have a new thing to offer to customers. So you're not selling a saturated product. So there's many different industries. I know CorelDRAW, AI is fairly popular. Lightburn right now is getting to be very popular now. But you can't get around with any of these classes. The more you can attend, the merrier, because you're going to pick up something new in every class you take. Even if you took it last year, I know Braden can speak at this too. Every class is different every year. It's never the same exact artwork, never the same substrates. It's always going to be a different topic or different updated response. So.
Yeah. Like one thing that I remember from I think our first episode where we had Megan Raymond on from Raymond's Trophy, she said there's always a nugget. There's always a little lesson that you can gain from a class, whether you take it for the first time or taking it again. I think as long as there's one piece of knowledge that you can take back, definitely money well worth spent. Braden, wrapping up with you, any classes or speakers that you want to highlight?
I heard there's a little something on custom award fabrication from A to Z, promoted by GS2 Awards. No. So we have another class that we're teaching there too. But I agree with Darin. Years of experience helps because you want taught the right way, not just something that might work in theory, but something that's like tried and tested and proven. But Liz hit it right on the head. Anything related to software is going to help your business so much more, especially in the laser side. So we see a lot of folks that they buy a lot of files from Etsy and everything else, run that and use that, but then that blocks you to that same design, that same market, that same trend that everybody else is doing. Once you learn the software and how to create your own designs, your business is your business and you can do anything you want within it and however you want. Don't be pigeonholed by not knowing the software. Like, if there's a class on it, take it as many times as it takes until you know it inside and out. It's huge for you. The other one, I spoke about growth earlier. So when you grow, you need equipment, you need techniques, you need knowledge, but you need employees too. So Megan Raymond has one from green to great, and how to onboard new employees and train them. Go to that class, learn everything you can from there, because if you plan to grow, or even if you already have employees and you need to hire new employees, get more knowledge on how to train them, get them up to speed, and help your business out much faster. So that's my 2.5 pieces.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Braden. Yeah, just this is my third expo now, getting to go to Vegas with the APA. And yeah, I've just seen it improve each year since my first one. So that's something I'm really excited about. And also seeing the feedback that we get, that our education committee gets, and trying to, realize that or implement that into this year, as Liz and you all mentioned about the software courses. That's something that we've tried to really improve on this year, and just overall making sure that there's always something for everyone. If they're a beginner, are seeking more of that advanced hands-on experience, there's something for everyone. I have one last question for each of you, but just before I get to that one and wrap up our time together, I want to say thank you to everyone again for joining us who had the chance to tune in. If you're watching this recording or tuning us live, if you're registered or still thinking about it, just thank you so much for spending the time with us, getting to meet our awesome hands-on speakers. If you haven't registered, definitely encourage you to register, especially by this Friday, as I mentioned earlier, to enter that free hotel raffle. Another thing I'll mention is APA members do get free registration to the expo. So that includes access to all general education courses, the show floor, as well as a discount on these hands-on courses, because they are an additional add-on to your ticket. There's a discount there for members as well. So if you want to take advantage of that, definitely encourage you to do so. But my last question that I wanted to ask each of you is just about tips for any first-timers, any new attendees that will be coming to this show for their first time. Might be their first trade show or just their first APA show. What's one tip that you might share to someone that's attending the show for the first time? Liz could just start off with you. If you could share a tip.
Sure. I'm going to say, if you've been attending, don't get stuck with the same people you see every year. Do something different. Go visit everybody, because they're there. The vendors are there. They're spending the money. They're set up with their best products, the best displays, and they're ready to share their knowledge. Go visit other people that you haven't seen. Go stop by their booth. What do they have? What's new? Like Megan said, you're going to get a nugget from someplace. And my other tip would be, take a class, show up, be ready, take notes. I find sometimes you'll see people in there and they're just so tired from the night before, and I get it, but be ready. When you take your class, be ready to receive, because the instructors, they're ready to give, and they've been planning for months, planning their presentations, planning of what to give you, what you can take back to your business. So just be ready to receive that. And that's my tip. Visit everybody, and then just be ready when you take your class. Hey, if you take a morning class, bring your coffee. All right, it's okay. Double it up. Yeah. Put the extra.
Bring one for the instructors.
And that's what I have.
Absolutely. Thank you, Liz. Darin, any tips for first timers this year?
Yeah, like Liz said, just be ready to learn from the experts in our industry, and just bring a big suitcase, because there might be a lot of product to bring back with you. It's a great venue. I love it at the Horseshoe Event Center. It's more personable. I think at this event now, you could basically visit each booth in the 2.5-day show. So it's a good time to see every person and learn what's new. And as you talk to people in the booth, there's other products that they have that they don't show on the show floor, at times. So, just a conversation with each rep is a good thing to have, because, brainstorming ideas, how are you going to grow my business? Well, so it's a good thing to do. I've known several people that they come into the booth every year. Hey, Darin, how's it going? And every year, no matter if they're doing well in their business or not. I mean, it's just a good conversation to have. But as far as education, starts on Tuesday. The more education you can take, the better. Again, just be ready to kind of learn different processes. I know that'd be a little overwhelming, so that's why it's good to find somebody that's been in the industry a while to discuss. But I think the biggest thing about the event is just show up, and you're going to learn, you're going to have fun, and learn those nuggets.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Braden, want to wrap us off with the tip?
So do the classes like everyone's saying. And then I'm going to be the reason that you need that coffee for the early classes, because I think the classes, the education, meeting the vendors, being on the show floor is amazing, right? But the other huge aspect is all of the other attendees. Use this to network, use this to grow your network, your safety net, if you will, of people throughout the United States in your industry that you can talk to after the show, connect with them on Facebook, in social media groups, email, phone calls, whatever it may be. Like, connect with them, grow with them, and start building that network. So every year you see them again, you can talk to them throughout the year. If you're stuck, if your machine goes down, you have someone that maybe they're local, that they can now help you as well too. There's a lot of social opportunities that are available. I know PDS Equipment, they have a VIP party. I think it's February 26th at the Bottle Blonde, and it's a rooftop party. Go talk to people in the UV area, in the UV printing area, the laser industry. Everyone's there to help and not be competition. So use that time to grow with them. I do know you have to sign up for that event. It's on our Facebook page. I think possibly the APA page as well on Facebook. So definitely sign up, go attend. Don't stay out too late so that you're a wreck for the classes, but definitely network and grow your bubble, essentially.
Absolutely. Agree with everything you all just said. The community, connections, knowledge. Well, I have nothing else, left speechless, but on behalf of APA, Liz, Braden, Darin, thank you so much to each of you, our viewers. Get registered if you aren't already. But yeah, thank you so much. Got a little comment from here, Dan Benzik. Appreciate you. And everyone else that was engaging with us in the comments, thank you again. But that's all I have. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Liz, Braden, Darin, thank you so much again. Sorry, a lot of thank yous, but I'll see you all in Las Vegas. Talk to you later.
Awesome.
See you
Thanks.
there.
Can't wait to see everybody.
See you in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
We'll have a blast.